The Green Uprising, Ibrahim Traore's $1 billion palm tree revolution. It all started with one bold promise: 1 million palm trees, $1 billion, one unstoppable vision to turn the soil of Burkina Faso into gold. While the world waited for Burkina Faso to fail, Ibrahim Traore planted a revolution. Not with guns this time, but with trees. From the deserts of despair, he saw something no one else could see. It began with a single tree. Under the blazing West African sun, President Ibrahim Traore stood before a crowd of villagers, children, farmers, and journalists, his hands wrapped tightly around a shovel. He wasn't delivering a speech. He wasn't behind a podium. He was digging. And then he said it. 1 million palm trees, $1 billion. A future we plant with our own hands. That moment changed everything. It wasn't just about trees. It was about pride. It was about taking control of a country's destiny with something as simple and as powerful as a seedling. This is the story of how one of Africa's youngest leaders decided to rewrite the economic future of Burkina Faso, not through war, not through oil, not through mining, but through agriculture. And at the heart of it, the palm tree. Burkina Faso has long been a land of resilience, its people often facing hardship with quiet strength. But over the years, foreign dependence, poor infrastructure, and underinvestment in agriculture left the country struggling to feed itself. Youth were fleeing, villages were drying up, and poverty wasn't just a problem, it was the norm. President Traore, a man known for action over words, saw this as more than a crisis. He saw it as an opportunity. So instead of begging for aid, he made an investment. A massive, unprecedented agricultural project worth $1 billion and $1 million, dedicated to the planting and processing of 1 million palm trees across the country. Not just to grow them, but to build a self-sustaining economy around them. Factories, training centers, export pipelines, jobs. What most saw as just a tree, Traore saw as a future. Because the palm tree is no ordinary crop. It is one of the most valuable and versatile plants in the world. From its fruits, you can extract palm oil used in cooking, cosmetics, skincare, and even biodiesel. From its kernels, you can get vegetable oil. Its fibrous husks can be turned into mats, ropes, eco-packaging, or even organic fertilizer. The byproducts, used for black soap, detergents, creams, candles, and local crafts. Nothing is wasted. With proper investment and processing, a single palm tree can feed a family, build a business, and power an entire local economy. Traore didn't just want to farm. He wanted to manufacture, brand, and export. He wasn't planting trees. He was planting wealth. Across Burkina Faso, nurseries began to spring up. Hundreds of thousands of seedlings tended by local women, many of whom had never earned a stable income before. In Bobo Dioulasso, a cooperative of 60 women now manages a thriving nursery that ships young palms to over 18 regions. One of them, Fanta, a mother of 4, says, "Before we begged to feed our children, now I send mine to school and run a business from the soil beneath my feet." In towns like Gawa, Dedougou, and Kaya, processing plants are being built from the ground up. These facilities don't just extract palm oil, they package it, bottle it, and ship it with "Made in Burkina Faso" proudly printed on every label. Across the nation, roads are being paved to connect rural plantations to urban markets. Schools are offering courses in agricultural science. Mobile apps are tracking planting cycles. It's no longer just farming, it's smart, scalable agribusiness. Traore knows, that his country's future really lies with its youth. And he's not asking them to leave for opportunities abroad. He's actually giving them reasons to stay. Tens of thousands of young Burkinabe are now being trained in soil science, irrigation, agro-processing, packaging, export logistics, and entrepreneurship. So instead of chasing visas, they are chasing harvests. At a training center in Koudougou, 21-year-old Ibrahim, named after the president, leads a group of 50 young farmers learning how to operate palm oil extractors and solar dryers. His words, "This is more than agriculture. This is nation building. This is our own oil, our own power. In a project that's often dominated by men, Traoré made one thing very clear. No true growth happens if women are left behind. So in every region, women have been placed right at the center of the palm economy. In a factory in the north, women produce natural black soap from palm oil, once sold in plastic bags for just pennies, now beautifully packaged under the brand name Faso Glow and sold to supermarkets in Abidjan, Accra, and even Paris. Now my soap travels further than I ever have, says Isatu, 38. That's what Traoré gave us. More than money, he gave us value. Burkina Faso once imported palm oil from neighboring countries. Now, it's setting up to export its own branded oil. The Green Faso Industries, the country's flagship agro-processing hub, is nearly complete. It will handle over 100,000 liters of palm oil daily, process byproducts, and house an eco-innovation lab that will test new uses of palm waste for biodegradable packaging and biofuel. Already, countries in West Africa and beyond have expressed interest in importing products from Burkina Faso. The project is attracting African investors, diaspora funding, and even eco-friendly packaging companies looking to partner with a country that is finally building something sustainable. Yes, challenges remain. Climate change, affects rainfall. Pests must be controlled. Initial harvests, well, they take time. And the scale of the project really requires patience and precision. But Traoré's administration isn't passive. Irrigation systems are being installed. Drone technology is being used to monitor growth. Local engineers are designing pest-resistant strains. Extension officers are training farmers in every province. This is not a donation-driven dream. This is a data-driven, people-powered, government-backed movement. Today, if you fly over Burkina Faso, you'll begin to see green lines carving through brown fields. You'll see the shimmer of new irrigation canals. You'll hear the hum of machines. And, most importantly, you'll hear laughter. In villages where silence once fell over empty fields, there is now the sound of opportunity, the sound of dignity. And at the center of it all, still planting, still inspecting, still planning, is Ibrahim Traore, not watching from a distance but walking among his people, touching the soil, listening to farmers, sharing meals with workers, because, this project was never about politics. It was always personal. Palm trees live long. They withstand drought. They produce for over 30 years. They're a symbol of peace, victory, and life. And, that's what Traoré wanted for Burkina Faso. Not a flash of foreign cash, not a slogan, but a legacy. One that would outlast him, one that the children of this nation could inherit with pride. A tree, a factory, a business, a future, 1 million times over. You thought they needed aid. What they needed was a seed. Project Palm Faso. 1 million trees, $1 billion, one nation rising.